So those who are unfamiliar with this randomizer, this randomizer was made by Dig Shake. It randomizes the overworld and a whole lot of other stuff. Enemies are a big deal here. Spell locations, item locations. And we're off. Oh my goodness, and right away we can see from the North Palace, 2 palaces are available. We got Palace 1 in the northwest, and soon we'll see what's in the southeast of the palace. Maybe. Zarnak stepping back in to reset his random overworld encounters. It looks like it's Palace 5. So Palace 1 and 5. And Zarnak, of the 2, has decided to look into Palace 5. Zarnax he has the skills in Zelda 2 to make that kind of a bold play. That's one of the biggest things about how to approach playing this randomizer is being able to accurately judge your capabilities in terms of mechanics, combat, in order to make your decision about what you should do. And Zarnax, definitely of these 4 players, has the most amount of combat, movement, mechanical ability at this game to make that kind of decision. I'm not expecting that there are extra keys in the palaces. Normally in the original game there are places in the palace that have keys and places that have P bags, and sometimes there's a flag to turn all the P bags into keys, but I don't think that's the case tonight. And Zarnax has already found Gooma. He's gonna 1-1-2 Gooma. Okay. Yeah, and we see Purity is grinding the wolf heads at their max random XP value 20, which is a lot early game. He's already up to 2-1-3. On the other hand, Thurwolf's at a really cool room there at the Crumble Bridge with the orange iron knuckles, and he finds the item. Does he have a key for it? Big swamp for Roller J. Bradley. Check out the gravestone. Yeah. A little Dig Shake is hanging out in the tomb. The real King's tomb. Not that dressed up one. Yeah, well, Zarnax is picking up some levels as well. There are 27 rooms in Palace 5. That's one thing that isn't randomized. All 27 rooms from the original Palace 5 are still there. Just rearranged into another logical order. You can always visit all the rooms. And now it looks like he's looking for drippers. The drippers are randomized, so he can get a good grind enemy here. I like what Purity's doing. Exploiting the Iron Knuckles. Kind of like forgetting about Link just because he's on a different Y-axis. Magic Cave death for Willard trying to escape. Looks like he got the raft. Oh, look at that. Zarnax has found the Dripper. The Dripper enemy usually spawns with very low HP. I guess, the same random value, like, range that a bot could have, which is the normal thing. And dang, he has many of them. But it's still taking 2 hits. Once he gets to attack 3, I think it's guaranteed that he'll be able to one-shot them. Thurwolf and Purity the Cat high five. Getting the key out of this room here. What spell did Willard just pick up, Fairy? This is interesting. Everybody, we got basically 3 different things are happening. We got a guy in P5, we got 2 people in P1, and 1 person just hanging out in the overworld, still, trying to gather resources. You could argue that each one is the correct play for the person's abilities, and none of them are the wrong play. Willard getting Fairy it's really great. I mean, you have magic. You start the game with 4 bars of magic. And without a spell, you have nothing to spend that resource on. So it's really good to at least find a spell to spend your magic points on. You get, magic refill every time you die. Zarnak still grinding. 3-2-4. The funny thing is, and he's going to bail. Good move. Even with 3-2-4, that Gooma is a long shot. He really would want to have probably life 5 to even expect to survive a single hit from Goomba. And the number of hits he'd have to do to one is still absurdly high. Random small P bag for Willard gets 2 attack, making him 2-1-2. Oh, survives a boomerang with low life. Amazing. Decides to up A anyway. Doesn't like that trap encounter. We got 3 guys in swamp. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Zarnax would prefer to have downstab for Goomba because it's more fun. That's the bottom line for fighting Goomba for Zarnax or myself is that we just want to have fun. So what makes Goomba the most fun to fight is like having downstab, having the shield spell, so you can at least make a couple mistakes, and preferably not so much attack that he dies too fast. Sub random. Willard's on a bridge encounter. Is he on a long bridge or a short bridge? Oh, he's on that long bridge, isn't he? Yeah, the long bridge to get across there, but I'm not sure if that was... Oh, it gets him to a cave. Fairy or Parappa cave, right side, don't know. Ooh, that, the magic cave that Zarnax is in, that actually has the raft, it has 2 gorillas in it, in the dark. That's impressive that Willard actually pulled that raft out and didn't die until his way out of the room. These gorillas can be a real pain. They can throw their boomerang in 3 different positions. Like one can go over the top of Link's head or shield and hit him in the head. They can throw it at your ankles, or you can throw it underneath the ground and then it loops back and tries to hit you in the butt. What are we looking at here? Zarnax gonna pick up Fairy. Fury's killing enemies in a trap encounter. Looks like Willard found Palace 3 or 6. We call it Palace 3 or 6 because we don't know which it is. Palace 3 and 6 have all the same indicators in the first room. You have to get into the palace to figure out which it is until you can eliminate possibility. He's gonna take a look here. Let's find out. Let's see if we can figure this one out quick. If he hits that statue head up there, we know. It's looking like it's Palace 3, because we'd expect to see a lot more enemies in here if it were P6. Getting the fairy on and dodging. Oh my goodness. Thorwolf also looking at that Parappa or Fairy Cave and turning around. And Willard's done there. He's out. Trophy Cave for Purity the Cat. Has he already been to that cave? Whoa, double red Dyra. And going left. Well, this is Zelda 2 Randomizer. At the very baseline, what it's always going to be randomized are the spell locations, the overworld, the item locations, the enemies' locations, and in this particular set of flags, the size of the enemies is randomized. There are 4 groups of enemies, as Digshake classified them. There's large, small, flying, and repeating. And in this particular set of flags, large and small enemies are also mixed up, and that's why we have these encounters in the overworld with all kinds of nasty red dyers everywhere. Thorwolf has found Medicine Cave, and he's doing something smart here. He's using his fairy spell to navigate this room. All he has to do is dodge birds up and down. Fairy has very free movement, instant acceleration and stopping. It's very easy to manage. And he's doing great in this second dark room. There are 3 enemies in here, and they have certain spawn points, so he knows where to look for them. So, you know, the enemies are randomized, but their spawn locations are not. They're hard-coded into the game. Jump spell for Purity the Cat. Willard picking up downstab, that's a real boon. It doesn't only make the game easier, it flat out makes the game faster. It's just overpowered. You can bounce on enemies' heads. It just gives you a whole new level for navigating encounters. And look at that. The grass tile is in the middle of the swamp. He's avoiding it. What is an encounter biome? You might also notice that when they're getting encounters on, you know, right now, Willard in the bottom right corner was in the swamp and he got an encounter, but it took him into forest. That's obviously not how the game originally was. A swamp encounter would be a swamp encounter, but it's randomized. Alright, Purity the Cat also with downstab. Oh, it was the recorder at the grass tile. Yeah, there is a lot of very much is included in the randomization. Alright, Zarnax now seems ready to do Palace 1. Should be a walk in the park. He's 3/3/4 and he has the fairy spell. You can see Willard in the bottom right corner bouncing over his enemies to escape that encounter with no health still. Just zombie strutting it. Oof, Purity takes a couple hits from that. He wakes up the Iron Knuckle and regrets it. And he's bailing out of Palace 3 or 6. So, Palace 3 and 6 contain their original rooms, and both of those palaces have rooms that completely block you if you don't have the handy glove that allows you to break blocks. So, even though the randomization can account for the layout of the palace and actually put the glove into a palace that can potentially be blocked, into a path that's not blocked by the glove, most people will bail out and look at another place, because it's anytime that you go into a palace and you don't come out with anything, it's a pretty substantial time loss. Oh, Zarnax gets the key on the way down and turns into a fairy. God, what a swag master. What? He's gonna kill these for experience before he plans to up A at the item, so I guess he wants to try to get to 620. No, he doesn't want the item. He just picked up a key. Is he thinking about what he just did? I'm not sure he's thinking about what he just did. Or maybe I'm not getting it. He didn't, first of all, he got a key falling and then he swag fairied out. And because he turned into a fairy, he can't stab the pea bag to pick it up. So now he's going to turn around because he expects it to be a 500-point bag, which will give him his next level up before he upphase. That's just really funny. Fantastic. And it's only 200. Alright, Willard has his trophy and he's heading into the house, Sage's house in Ruto, the town where Error lives. And he gets the fire spell. I don't know if fire is combined with anything in these flags. And it's 105. He is not going to be checking that anytime soon. Let me pull up the flag. Fire Spell is combined, though, so he did get potentially something useful. He just needs to get some levels to get that cost down. Oh, man. What a game. Boy, Zarnax has been in this P1 a long time. You know, you come into P1, I think it has maybe 14 or 16 rooms. It's not very many. And you come in with Fairy, and once you check the item, man, you expect to be out of here really quickly, but circumstances just turned on him a little bit, and now he didn't want to give up, you know, that 400 XP he was sitting on. Look at this. I mean, now he knows for sure that the wolf heads were a good grind spot as well. Looks like Purity's thinking about upping out of here. He's gonna walk out. Thorwolf exiting with his fire spell. And Willard doing a little bit more of a practical strat for picking up that key. And he's ready to pick up his bag, which actually will give him a level up. He'll be able to get life 3 out of here. In fact, he might just... Well, we'll see what he gets. He might opt to take Magic 3 out of it, because he'll get exactly enough. Oh, he's gonna cancel. Alrighty. He's going for his attack level. Good stuff. Attack 3 didn't kill a bot. That's, I guess that's possible. Attack 3 could have rolled as low as 3 damage down from its normal 4, and a bot can definitely roll over 3 life. So that's perfectly possible. Purity looks like he wants to get a little experience off these double red Dairas, but the double red Dairas, even with downstab, can be a little bit annoying. When you downstab into them sometimes, they don't have the sort of, they don't have a shield, which in many cases helps you control your bounce on them. Enemies that don't have a shield, that you bounce on them a little bit differently than enemies do have a shield. Like an Iron Knuckle, it's a really obvious that what you can expect for how you're going to bounce off of an Iron Knuckle, no matter how you hit. As long as you downstab it, you're going to get the same bounce every time. But for stuff like a Daira, you might not get as much bounce as you expected. Do we know what's dripping? Yes, the drippers are blue Stalfos worth 50 XP. Zarnax grinded them at the beginning. Long P1, yeah. Long P1 flags on. Man, I can't believe nobody has gone east yet. Have they not even seen the dock? I mean, how far are we in? Oh, we're only 18 minutes in. I guess it's not so absurd. Alright, P1 in. Gem in for Zarnax. He's going to fill up his XP. That's what happens when you put the gem into the pedestal. It fills up to your next level. Zarnax will have to put in 5 more gems into the pedestals of the various palaces before the Great Barrier will come down on the Great Palace, allowing him to enter. Yeah, level P1 is... It's very difficult to actually keep up with exactly what the layout of everything is on 4 screens. But I can tell you one thing from deduction. If Zarnax was in Palace 1 for that long, the layout of it is very annoying. One of the tools that the players have for dealing with palaces, the keys and the key doors in palaces, besides keys, is ferrying through the doors, but that takes the resource of magic. And when things just happen in a certain way, where they eat your keys and whatever, you know, you just end up having to intentionally take deaths in order to refill your magic to get through the next door. That can really add up in time, especially if you've grinded up some life levels. That can make it even worse. Yeah, when the key doors, the two key rooms in P1 are back to back, that's when you can really expect to see some real issues. Now, Thurwolf's in Firetown, no? It's going for the life refill. What do you get? No. No, but I'm the best you got, so ha. I don't really know why Willard's in P5 necessarily. He was the first person to get the raft. And Thurwolf's in an item cave here on the East Continent. There are a few caves in the original game that they're, you know, 2-screen caves each time that have a P bag at the end. Version 3 of the randomizer potentially puts items in those caves and puts those P bags into other locations in the regular item pool. So that's what Thurwolf is in right now. He's in a P bag cave in the east, and he gets a magic container, which going from 4 to 5 is a big deal. Very often that enables you to actually cast most of your spells at any point in time. So going back to, you know, using your resources to navigate, the fairy spell is very important. You can see now Zarnex is using the fairy spell to get into the downstab building. The fairy spell can enter doors. So magic costs are randomized, and it just so happens that it's actually fairly important for the randomizer to be enjoyable, to have those random magic costs, because the net effect of randomized magic is that the spells become cheaper over time than average cheaper than the vanilla game. The vanilla game's spell costs are actually very high, and even speedrunning the game, magic can be somewhat prohibitive when you have a known route on a known game. Without that, this would be a difficult randomizer to play. The actual reason that the costs come down a lot is because every time that a new level's costs are rolled, if the cost would go up, it does not. The cost can only go down every level, or they can stay the same. Is it Thunderfire? Dude. So Thunderfire, the magic spell fire, there's a flag to combine fire with another spell because people complain that fire is not very useful, and they're not necessarily wrong. Fire isn't very useful. As a good player, as an experienced player, fire can be extremely useful in some situations. Having an infinite beam sword that allow you to clear certain rooms can be very handy. But in any case, the fire spell in this randomizer seed has been combined with thunder. And the minimum cost for fire spell is 8 magic points. The minimum cost for thunder is, I guess it's 50. Well, I guess it could be like, 32 at Magic 8, but we never really get there. Usually we expect to see thunder get around 61 and then stop. So in this case, it could come to a point not too long from now where people are casting thunder 4 or 5 times before running out of magic. This is it's a reference back to an old glitch one time. Before a certain thing was checked, when the thunder spell actually was rolled, if it would roll so high, its cost would overflow back down to an absurdly low amount, like 2 magic points, called Thunderflow. And Dig Shake loved it so much he decided to give it a second life by occasionally combining it with the fire spell. That may or may not be factual. The fairy room? Oh yes, the fairy room, right. The room where the health-giving fairy is. That's one of the rooms that fire is very useful. They can also be very useful in the chicken and waffle rooms when the same enemy are inside. You just clear them out really easily. Purity and Fire Town. Zarnax walking by some town. Looking for a cave. Willard's in P5 still. He's gonna... I don't know where he is in this palace, but he might be thinking about an up and A. And yeah, that magic level up. The magic level up, 200 more experience. He's gonna crank that. Thunder, low-cost Thunder is great, but Thunder won't work on bosses or anything like that, so at some point he will want to get attack levels. But in the meantime, he can really use that Thunder spell to grind or just fly through palaces, just ram that select button until all the enemies on the screen are dead, and it gets to like a critical mass with Thunderfire where you kill so many enemies that the drops, the jar drops that refill your magic just keep you going. 36 magic. It's not bad. It's still a little over 2 bars. He's going to want that down. Maybe next level, you know, hope for something in the 20s range or lower. Not actually sure if it's possible. Fire at level 1 in the original game costs 120 to cast. And the randomized spell costs are based on a value within 50% of the original cost. Of course, they can't go over 120 anyway, probably. Dig Shake probably limit them at 120. 128 for sure, because it's a max amount of magic you can ever get. Spelltown giving up here. Willard gets to the item in P5, and it's a magic jar, which, in his current situation, you can't be too unhappy with that. That's just more thunder spells. But, yeah, Thunder's not going to help him with Guma, and since P5 is extremely close to start, he has no reason to want to do that right now. The red Dairas are pretty meaty. I've seen both Zarnax and Purity grinding on them a little bit, and they're doing several trips. They're like 3 trips of down stabs. At least looks like 11 or 12 hits still. Attack 3 hasn't shown to be particularly stellar. If it can't one-shot a bot, it must be bad. Yeah, you have to thunder all Magos for real. It's mandatory. The Mago is the orange-robed enemy that throws fire across the ground. They only appear for like less than a second or so at a time, maybe a full second, and the only way to damage them is during that period of time, unless you use Thunder Spell, and then you'll just hit them anywhere. Anywhere they are on the screen. No, I didn't catch how much the Magos were worth. The randomized XP values are... In the original game, there are sprites, right, that pop over the, or they're like tiles, you know, pre-designed tiles that fly over the enemy's head when you kill them and show how much XP they gave, and there aren't 4s in the game. There aren't 4s and there aren't 8s, or 6s. There's every other number that actually come in pairs, but that's not important. So Dig Shake, what he did is he took the randomization, he said up 2 numbers or down 2 numbers that exist in the original game. He said that he would randomize more values in if people made him the tile sets to put in different XP values. So consider that a bounty that you won't get paid for, but you will receive new XP values if you make those tiles that match the original games for the numbers. 4, 6, and 8. Purity exited Thundertown. Didn't see the spell that was picked up. Maybe it was the Thunder spell from Thundertown. The normal game's requirements say that, you get the spell from Thundertown. It's the 8th spell in your spell book. You have to have the corresponding number of magic containers for the slot in the spell book. So you would normally have to have 8 magic containers in order to get that spell, but the randomizer removes those unless you decide to check a flag to turn those requirements back on. Not normally do we play with that flag on. Magic Key in Maze Island for Thurwolf. He will no longer need to cast the fairy spell to get through key doors. When he doesn't have a key, he'll just walk through every door now. It's one of the biggest speed items in the randomizer. It means that in Palaces 1 through 6, he does not have to manage the magic resource for his fairy spell in order to navigate the palace. Instead, he can just plan to use his magic as much as he really needs to, besides specific rooms that require fairy to cross. See the Valley of Death there on the south end of Thurwolf's screen. Be curious to see if he decides to check out the palace in there. I don't know that we've seen all the palaces yet to know where everything is. I have not noticed palaces 2 or 4 or 7. Purity, the cat, retrieving a kid and hitting the brakes. Alright, he's ready to go again. GP's on Maze Island, so they'll definitely want to get to the palace on... Well, you might not want to get to the palace in the Valley of Death yet if he thinks it could be P4. Just the high fives. Zarnax entering the erection at the end of New Kasuto. Yeah, town time. Taking a drink. Trying to take a drink, man. I'm trying to sprinkle my keyboard. I'll have no idea if you missed something. Alright, thinking time for Thurwolf. Looking like, ew, swamp. Darunia pass for Purity the cat. Just, yeah. Not necessary. Gonna look for an encounter skip here to get through it. Gets it. But it's a Valley of Death encounter. Pro skip. Man. He is loving life right now. And regretting absolutely everything. Fairy spell. Oh, come on, man. Oh, he's gonna Thunderfire his way out of here. Do it one more time. Yeah, Thurwolf is going to check out this palace now. Is he going to do some fairy feats? No, he's looking for encounter skips. Ugh. Willard using the fairy spell to just get free navigation on this screen. Couple random, trap tile checks for the left 2 guys. It looks like Zarnax doesn't have boots. He's not walking on water when it would clearly be advantageous. Thurwolf doing encounter skips. Much better than the Valley Death encounter skip that Purity pulled off in the Darunia Pass. Palace 4 is in the Valley of Death. Great. He's got to be loving life as well. He's gonna, I guess, pop in here, maybe look for the item. None of them have picked up the Fairy spell yet, or the Reflect spell that is needed to finish this palace. So maybe we'll see the medicine in here that leads to it. Willard back on the west after an unfortunate game over. Thorwolf with an interesting tactic for fighting the Red Lizalfos, kind of a stab and retreat tactic. Works pretty well. Zarnax entered the Swamp Trap tile digging for stuff. I mean, presumably P-bags, and he got one, 500, so he's still fishing for XP. Did I say who? Purity was the one fighting the Red Lizalfos. They're wolves in P4. My bad. With that, just dropping thunder bombs everywhere. Purity softens up the blue Zalfos with the Thunderfire. How many hits? 4, 5, 6. Nope. I don't know if that hit. 6, maybe 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10. Jeez, come on, man. You gotta take this attack level at some point. Attack 3 is pure garbage. I think that's what he plans to do. But this attack 3 is pure garbage, and he's sitting on it for now a good long time. He's had attack 3 for a while since he grinded it off of the wolf heads in P1 at the beginning. Thunder's great and all, but, you know, you can see it took him a Thunder plus 10 hits. Thunder does a flat amount of damage, and it's not randomized. It's, I believe it's 64 damage. So you gotta imagine that what the life that the Blue Lizalfos has is somewhere in the range of about 90. Which is a lot, by the way. If he didn't have the Thunder spell at all, it'd probably take him 30 hits with that sword of his. Alright, medicine for Thorwolf. Oh my god. Oh, the double dip P4. Big shake. So, yeah, Thorwolf does. He has the item he needs now to get the Reflect spell, and he got it from P4, so good for him. I mean, he had to know at this point that that was what was going to happen. You always have to find all the spells. I wonder what other business Thorwolf is thinking of before he leaves here. Nobody's found the glove yet either, we should point out. I'm not sure where it could be at this point. I don't think have we even seen P6? We could have a real fancy seat on our hands with like a glove in P3 or 6 and the Reflect spell item in P4. I mean, what else do you want? You want to put the shield spell in P5 with down stab and life? There's another palace for Thorwolf. Perhaps the location. Yeah. Oh, I was pulling for him, man. Thorwolf's trying to make a quick decision. He knew he was about to take one more hit. If he gets out of that menu and thunders, the thunder spell actually will clear all the projectiles off the screen too. If he'd just been just a hair faster, I think he would have saved his life. But oh well. He's in a palace now, And it's Palace 3 or 6, which is what we expect. This will probably be Palace 6 because I believe we found 3 on the western continent in the western swamp. Yep, confirm. Decisions. Well, good for Thurwolf. This is the big place to want the magic key because there are places in Palace 6 where... Oh! Not going that way. There are places in Palace 6 where you do need the fairy spell to navigate, and there are more than one, and you never know if those rooms will happen in sequence. Or even worse, when you don't have the magic key, you have to use your fairy spell to navigate. And Thurwolf has confirmed that Glove is not in P6 in that much time. Well, anyway, yeah, he's out of there. Palace 2, he knows it's Palace 2. You don't even need to check that. Instantly taking a left because he knows that he's looking for an item. And so Palace 2 also has a glove block room in it. Oh, look. Well, you look at that. First room on the left in P2 is the item. And I do believe we will see the glove here. The boots! Oh. What? We've seen them. Somebody has the boots already, right? He's the first person to get the boots? Oh. Well, sweet. So, yeah. I don't know how far away that water tile is from where Thurwolf is, but so he's been to the item room. There's a glove block room somewhere in this palace, and there's some percentage chance, for sure, that glove block room will prevent him from finishing. If he stays in here, we'll get a better idea of what the odds continue to be. But right now, I'd say it's somewhere in the territory of 33%. Maybe higher. So now Purity's gonna locate the Grand Palace and up A, refill. Nice super jump for Zarnax. Getting into the upstab house to visit an upstabbing citizen of Hyrule. Willard in the same location. High five. Three guys in Darunia right now, and Thurwolf is passing through. What cave is he in? Is he in the Heart Cave? Thurwolf had not found the Heart Cave. Are they actually... Was he blocked from that by the boots? So the boots are potentially blocking. Who knows? I don't think anybody's been to Death Mountain either. So really the glove could be on the water tile in the east. They could be in Death Mountain, I suppose. But it looked like earlier that we saw, based on what people were doing, that Palace 3 was not something to enter. Lord fishing up the pea bag from that swamp trap. Life spell for Purity. Purity now knows the medicine is blocking the reflect spell. Zarnax just has to go left room to realize that he is not going to be able to go anywhere in Palace 6. Thurwolf's in Palace 5. Looks like I would expect he might be the item hunting. You know, he hadn't been through here yet to know that the glove's not in here, but with 8 heart containers, we might see him finish this place. Then again, like I said earlier, it's right by the beginning, so not really There's no push to finish this place. Goom is very close to the start of the dungeon. The dungeon's very close to the start of the game. Oh, medicine's absolutely required, yes. Thurwolf we have multiple people with 7 spells. A hole in the 4th spell slot, corresponding to the town of Mido, where you need the medicine to get the spell. Catch up. Sorry, I had to look at something real quick. Yeah, the spell book corresponds to the original game's spell books in towns, and spells in towns. So, first spell is the Town of Raru, second spell is Town of Ruto, and so on. There's some order that's randomizer. If a randomizer with 0 order has no real purpose, as far as I can tell. There needs to be a point of reference to the original game for a randomizer to really mean anything. Alright, looking like the boot room in P2 for purity. Zarnex located his boots yet, or he went to the bottom first, and now he's heading back up, and he's gonna find his boots as well. Got him! Anyway. Thurwolf is gonna take down Guma, I hope. Life spell, he's got a full spell book, you know, he's got everything he needs for a Guma fight. Bam, done. Thurwolf's gonna hit the pedestal with 4 bars of life and almost 4 bars of magic refill. Good balance. Oh, just kidding, he's gonna take a level. And when you hit the pedestal, there's a minor time you spend refilling your life and magic, and they refill at the same rate. And the next stage doesn't happen until both are filled. So if you ever get to a point where you're missing like 6 bars of life and no bars of magic, you have the life spell, you actually save time by casting life before you put in the gem, if you want to wait around for your XP, that is. Otherwise, if you don't want to wait for your XP, you can just up and A as soon as the gem leaves the hand and save yourself a little bit of time. Alright, so Willard's in P6 heading right, without the glove, and bam, glove block, checking the blocks, making sure they don't break. Okay, they don't break. This is fantastic. We're still so far from the glove, potentially. Not really. Clearly, people have access to whatever holds the glove, but there's actually plenty of choices left for where to look, and none of them are too appealing at this point. Death Mountain. So at this point, if I had to say that anybody was in the lead, I would give it to Thurwolf out of these 4. He has the most amount of information. He has, you know, we've got, out of 24 gems on screen, we've got 2 of them in. Thurwolf has 5s in, and Zarnex has 1 in, number 1. That's typical. Alright, so Zarnex is hitting the water tile. Is he the first person to enter this tile? P-Bag! Sorry, but your glove is in another castle. Say at this point, the potential glove spots are the Rock and Death Mountain And I don't know if P3 is definitely glove blocked. I've never seen anybody be in P3 for very long, which makes me suspect that it might have been glove blocked early on. I remember seeing somebody up A, they were in a glove block room, so I'm pretty sure 3 is glove blocked as well. Which really just leaves the rock, I think. They're missing the hammer, which it could be in Hammer Cave opening the rock, or the glove could be in Hammer Cave, and the hammer could be in Palaces 3 or 6. But I think for sure the glove is in Death Mountain. So Thurwolf finishing up P1. Let's see if he heads to Death Mountain now. I don't know if Thurwolf actually dug the item out of P5 yet. We saw Willard and maybe another person do it. Nope, he's not going there. Purity picking up the P bag. Thunderfire Stomp. Pretty effective move for Willard on the double red die room. That hard cave is boot blocked. And we've seen Thurwolf just do more stuff on the overworld than anybody else. He's got to be looking out for his Death Mountain entrance. We got Zarnax and Purity are basically doing about the same thing right now. Zarnax is ahead, having completed this annoyingly long P1, but I wouldn't say that puts him ahead by too much of Purity. Willard's first time in P-Bag Cave. Thurwolf is water walking. I guess he's gonna go. Oh, and P-Bag Cave is also boot blocked. Okay. Candle. Fantastic. That'll be great. As they head into Death Mountain, we'll actually be able to see a little bit more of the game. Oh, look at the lights are on now for Willard. I couldn't tell you what's in the old lady's house, but I'm certain that somebody's done it by now. Actually, I'm not certain, because we have... I don't know that people have had the match container requirements when they've been there. This is a match container, okay. Snowball match container. Classic. This game is a classic. This game is 30 years old. You could put historical plates on it and take it to the show. You could probably sell it at an auction. Oh, Zarnax is fighting Guma. This is something you want to watch here. One reason why Zarnax put this off for a while, so he could do stuff like this. Guma's hitbox is actually on the lower half of him, the lower third of him, really. Look at him get in there. He knows that nothing happens when you touch the top of Guma, so he gets in there and he starts ramming down stabs from inside of Guma's graphic. Purity has dispatched Horsehead. Alright, Zarnax is hitting the reverse and looking for the item in here, I expect. If I do recall, this is a magic container. What's up, Larry? The Purity is passing through Jump Cave. I'm curious what is on the other side of Jump Cave. That makes it so fascinating. At this point in the game, we're 55 minutes in. Reason to be in a cave in the Western overworld at this point is because you think you can't get somewhere without it. Especially one as long as Jump Cave, it's going to take you a good 40 seconds to get through here. At the very least, it's going to take you 36 seconds across Jump Cave. And that's assuming that you play perfectly and never stop moving left. Thurwolf now in Death Mountain. Start calling out the names of these caves. I don't know what the other people call them, though. Larry can start calling out the names of the caves. If he were here instead of getting a pizza. DM, can you help him get that pizza so he can call these caves for us? Also, can somebody make sure that DM comes back from helping Larry with that pizza? Willard J. Bradley in the Bonner Pass right now. Oh look, Thurwolf has found the rock, he just doesn't have a hammer for it. So much happening. Thurwolf is bouncing in and out of caves, looking for the hammer cave. I don't know, there were, what, like probably 40 or so entrances in Death Mountain, and one of them is the hammer cave. So, yeah. Good times. So he's going to try to dip into as many caves as he can, as fast as he can, identify them, and move on. The worst case scenario here is that, like, let that secluded spot below Thurwolf right now, there are two caves. One of them's the hammer cave, and the other one's the sole entrance to that section. So he needs to kind of keep a catalog in his head of what caves he's seen and which ones he hasn't, so that he knows which ones to try if he can't find the hammer cave using this strategy. Primary strategy being just pop into caves till you find that the backup strat is to try to pick up on which cave leads to where the hammer is in the what secluded area the hammer got put into. Alright, magic container for Zarnax. That gives them all 8 magic containers, 8 heart containers. The life spell, the shield spell, the magic key. The cross isn't on the tracker. We don't know if he's full Joshi D. Unless we get an indication there, but I'm pulling for full Joshi D for Zarnax. You have to have all the hearts, the candle, the cross, the life spell, the shield spell. Thorolfson, he's finding more sections, but not finding the hammer cave. Looking in this, the 4-way cave for Thorwolf here, and gonna pop out all the exits, and you know, it's a little bit of an economical way to check more stuff. Oh look, he found the secluded pass, and oh, it's just a similar cave, a similar looking 4-way. It's not the same one. Yeah, he's gonna pop back in that one now. I was thinking about it. He's like, wait a minute. If he drops into this one, he can go left and looking for a door, and the bottom has 2 more exits. They're all pretty straightforward to identify, I think. At least at the bottom. Oh, he's been here. Now, Purity is in Death Mountain. Purity is in the bottom of the other 4-way from what Thurwolf is in. So Thurwolf's in the one that has This cave, and so they're both 4 ways, yeah. Cave looks the same at the top, looks different at the bottom. That's what we're getting at here. Now Willard also in Death Mountain. This is fantastic. Death Mountain is the great equalizer. Who knows if one of these guys will just happen to pick the correct cave to pass through to get to whatever secluded location the hammer was put. And we can see that it is time to start passing through caves. This is when it becomes useful to have paid attention to how many you've been through and which ones. I believe the Thurwolf has been to this section before. First cave again for Thurwolf. I'm fairly certain he's already passed right to left through this cave. I believe they didn't come up with a name for it last time, but I'm gonna call it Pineapple Pizza. Well, we have seen that 3, I think Zarnax bailed out of 3 when he was in the room that's blocked by the glove. He was on the left side of the, not the bent glass 2 mirror room, but the one that you might also need up or down stab to navigate, depending on which way you entered. If you're running from the left, you don't need any stab, but if you're running from the right, you're going to need up or down to go to the left of the room, the glove blocked room. Oh, Zarnax! He's in a secluded section. But I believe that these have been caves that we've seen before. It's not a high 5 from Zarnax and oh, it is a high 5 from Zarnax and Thurwolf. Thurwolf has exited. He's found the other exit, Death Mountain. Whoops. Feedback for Purity. Only 37 XP from another level. Oh, this is a puzzle Death Mountain for sure. We have everybody's popping in the caves, and we do not have an indication yet of where it is. Oh, Thurwolf is out of there. Is he starting over? Is he bailing? Thurwolf's heading east. I don't think that he's been to that water tile yet. Oh, it's harrowing. Oh my god, and Willard is the first person to find the hammer cave. At the very least, he will find the hammer, and it will let him check the rock. Otherwise, he will find the glove, and he will be full dig shake. Man. Willard's loading up the fire spell, but it still costs 36. He didn't have the magic to cast it. Alright. The not-so-huge moment, just finding out which of the 2 items it is for Willard. It is the hammer! He has 2 lives left. I think he'll get to that hammer. He pretty much has it. What? Yep. What? Just... Oh, come on, man. Blow that guy up! And he's gonna fare into the hammer. And... now he'll need to turn around and locate that rock. That rock has the glove inside. So... Willard is the first person to get full dig shake. but he does need to get 6 gems into the palace's pedestal still. So he has a little bit of work ahead of him. He's 2 gems behind Zarnax and Thurwolf, and 1 gem behind Purity. First things first, he'll need to get back to that location of the glove and that rock, but that's in a very wide open area, and he should not have a problem locating it. Let's watch the backtrack here so I can get it. So it was a secluded area. There were 2 ways into it, perhaps, and it was over the step cave, the up and down, the wave cave, whatever you want to call it. I don't know what people call it. Anchovies, which is up on the east edge, and now he's gonna drop back in here. Yep, and the medicine 4. What a seed. How far are we at? Hour 5. Hour 6. Zarnax passing back through Pineapple Pizza. Thurwolf. Oh, Thurwolf still had some item caves to check. Look at this. He's in the floating stuff cave. This is a nasty cave in the dark sometimes. The spiders here are part of the flying enemies group, and the normal enemy to be in that cave are the eyeballs that move slowly and lock up. Those deal a ton of damage when you run into them, and they can be somewhat immovable. Also bad in that cave is that when they get randomized into blue moas that are invisible, and those can also cause you a lot of trouble. And once you get past the red eyeballs, the stone-skinned red eyeballs, you usually, you're past them, no problem anymore. They can't catch up to you. They're very slow. But the blue moas can hit you multiple times. They have with merciless protraction. So Willard now making his way into P1. He's passing through this gauntlet of key doors. No problem with the magic key. Thurwolf is not finding what he's looking for here. Thurwolf invested a lot of time into Death Mountain, and was like, well, crap. Can't find what I'm looking for. Let's go look for something else. Let's go find other stuff. And now he's gonna go and backtrack and find all the stuff that everybody else has already done. That has not been the glove for them. I think that was called that event in the Gladiators might have been called Assault. Not 100% on that. Larry will know. Buzz just finished. Buzz finishing with a time of 54 minutes. He started this in, like 15 minutes late. Thank you. So Purity's still going to DM, and so is Zarnax. Thurwolf in the basement now, finding a magic container. Yeah, I jumped the gun on saying Thurwolf's ahead. He definitely not done a pile of things that other people end up doing. So now Purity, the second person to find the Hammer Cave. No? Attack, Magic, and Life are still capped at level 8. We don't... for one, you know, we're randomized based on the original game, and the tables are in place. There's no table reference maybe for... That's not true, there probably isn't a way to glitch out levels and get more stuff, we know that. But that aside, yeah, you barely ever see anybody get anything to level 8 in a randomizer race. So 8's still the cap. Level 9 will still give a refill of the appropriate bar for Life and Magic and give you a 1-up. Alright. We have the hammer pickup. There, taking care of business with the Thunderfire spell. Thorwolf's in P5. He's back in here looking for that item. Man, Thorwolf is, he was positioned at one point to win this race, but now he got fed up with Death Mountain and doubted his play, and now he is very much going to be spending a lot of time getting stuff that isn't what he wants. Joining me in the commentary is Trail Z. Willard is now in Palace 3. He's getting through that room that was blocking the progress, and look, followed up by the fake bent glass tube room. Little dig shake at the mini pedestal there, ruining his bounce strat. Purity's gonna take care of P5 now, having gone full dig shake. Zarnax, what's the deal? Was he unable to locate the Hammer King?
Hey Eunice, I just changed mine to push to talk. Is it better now, or?
Hi, everybody can hear you. Welcome.
I'm not interfering with the stream, am I?
Are you ready to join us for commentary? Because you're talking to us.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, can you catch me up a little bit?
Well, we had quite a seed here. The Reflect spell was blocked by Medicine. It was in the town of Mito, and the Medicine happened to be located in Palace 4, making a forced double dip. We haven't actually had anybody do the redip yet. The glove was buried in Death Mountain underneath a rock, the hammer being the other item in Death Mountain in the Hammer Cave. Besides that, I don't know if there's anything too terribly remarkable, but it has been a haul, and so people have been spending a lot of time looking for this stuff, and now Purity and Willard have located their glove. Thorwolf was in Death Mountain first of all the people on the restream, but gave up looking.
Did anyone up an A after they found the glove in Hammer Cave?
No, they knew what they needed because they'd been everywhere. They'd been all over the place looking. By the time they found that hammer, they were like, "Oh, I better take this to the rock."
I did that one time, man. I'll never do that again. I made the same mistake.
Yeah, the hammer cave is the harder of the two things to locate usually. It's the rock and Death Mountain that is actually usually fairly simple to get to. Occasionally it gets put in a secluded area with one cave, but that is much less common than the hammer cave being in its own little area with one cave that leads to it.
So it's Purity in 5. Willow just left 3, and Third Wolf just entered 3.
Yeah, Third Wolf is in 3, Purity's in 5. Currently, Zarnax and Third Wolf have done palaces 1 and 5. They've got the gems in those. We've got Willard has the gems in the palaces 1 and 3, and Purity just has the gem in the 1. I believe that Purity shouldn't take too long finding Guma. I thought it was near the entrance to the dungeon. The other notable thing about this seed is that the fire spell is combined with thunder. You might notice that people are blowing stuff up and having more magic to do it again. Alright, so Thurwolf about to get his 3rd gem, and he's 5/5/6 right now with 4 gems left to put in. I expect that Thurwolf will want to take every level he gets, which means he'll probably be able to get like attack 6. He'll maybe 6/6/7 at the very least, or more. There's his attack 6. So yeah, I think we'll probably see. We might see 7/7 or 6/8 out of Thurwolf. Depends on how the randomization goes. The prices of levels varies by, I don't know, up to like 25% of the original value. Alright, so Zarnax P4. He didn't have the medicine yet. Now Thurwolf is in P3? But he doesn't have the glove. I don't believe he will. He's gonna find the skylit room here to the right or something. Maybe yeah, here he goes. Skylit room. I don't know if what else he can find. Maybe the item. We haven't seen the item out of here, right? I guess that could be up the elevator left and up another elevator and then to the right. If that's even a possibility at this point. I'm not fully caught up on everything. Ooh, Purity's timing is a little off here for Guma. Oof, tough fight. Come back in full and hope to have a better go than that. Fighting Guma is kind of a, there's a lot of approaches to it. You can cheese it out on the right side of the screen. You can kind of get into a rhythm by attacking and bouncing off and getting out of the way of the ball and chain before he gets it out. This is better. Now he's got his rhythm. In, stab, out. Jump out of the way, just in case.
Not sure if Thurwolf exhausted all other possibilities, but I see him now in Death Mountain.
Yeah, Thurwolf is back in DM. He went out, he left, he went looking for a lot of locations he'd left behind. So, you know, he happened to be in the right place, but he had big doubts, I think, about whether his play was the right one, considering all the other things that he could be checking to look for the glove. It just so happened that he was in the right place, and it just is that the Hammer Cave is not easy to find. Alright, Purity finishes off Guma. Draco, no. In the randomizer, the dungeons do not they do not boulder over when you place the gem. So you can always re-enter even after you get the item and the gem. And in the original game, the dungeons do not boulder over until you have grabbed both the item and the gem. The tactical fix, I believe, that Dig Shake implemented was actually just putting a boulder on a different spot outside of the boundaries in the overworld, like outside of the accessible area. Or he may eventually have found the fix that removes the placing of the boulder, but either way, yeah, the boulder does not happen. Alright, Zarnax has finally located the medicine and will be picking up the Reflect spell now, which will put him in full Dig Shake. No, it won't. He doesn't have the glove yet. Man. Purity doesn't actually have the Reflect spell either. So he'll be digging out a magic container from P5 if he's successful in his hunt. Nobody's full Dig Shake. Nobody has both Reflect and the glove yet. Jeez. What a seed. I have to wonder what Thurwolf's approach will be this time. So he, last time he was here, he looking for the Hammer Cave to the extent that he was starting to have to pass through caves in order to find new locations to look for it, and now having left and done a bunch of stuff, he's going to need to try again. But this is the cave that he needs to take, and he's going through it, so this is good for him.
Dude, that's the worst when something required is in Death Mountain, but you don't like to go in there without the hammer, but the hammer being in a vanilla location is like the biggest smack in the face.
Yeah, you really just don't want to go in. Thurwolf's doing a little bit of a rage dolphin there. He's ready to move on now. But yeah, I mean, you just don't want to ever go into Death Mountain really to any kind of depth until you've knocked out a bunch of other possibilities that would have been easier on your time. Which is why Thurwolf failed, He looked at every easy access cave in Death Mountain and couldn't figure it out, and he said, well, never mind. I have at least 5 other places to go look, so I'm going to do that. But yeah, everybody more or less came to the same conclusion eventually before they really dug down into Death Mountain to look for this Hammer Cave. They knew that they were running out of options for what could even be. So hammer for Thurwolf. He'll head out, and that will actually make Thurwolf the first person to be full Dig Shake on this restream after everything. Zarnax is now in the Hammer Cave. That was quick. I imagine that his path to this point was about the same as Thurwolf's. This is Zarnax's second dive as well. And so the reason that you can expect to see like the same thing happen between these two players is that they both had effectively the same strategy. They bailed out when they couldn't locate what they were looking for, and then they came back in with the mindset that they're going to have to take pass through caves, and so they both passed through the first cave that they found after, you know, getting to an open area. And that's why we saw similar things from the two players. Oh, does he? Let's see. Yeah, it's a race. It's not settled yet. Thurwolf has to be close. Where? I think Thurwolf is gonna... Or, Willard's gonna get it first. Thurwolf needs to go left from this spot here to get into the hammer... Oh my goodness! Oh, that encounter! It's gonna be Willard. The encounter knocked Thurwolf into second place dig shake. Amazing. And this is quite the race now. They've both got gems 1, 3, and 5 in. Levels are 656 versus 665. All the heart containers, all the magic containers. Zarnax right behind Thurwolf picking up that glove. Yes, Thurwolf has the reflect spell.
Wow, they're both sailing east at the same time.
Yeah, this is some sync. So, the Grand Palace is in Maze Island. The palaces 2, 4, and 6 are the Eastern Continent palaces, so they'll just be trying to haul through them.
Have either of them stuck their head in any of those palaces? Do they have any like exploration advantage?
Everybody had to go into Palace 4 before they could get the Reflect spell. Palace 6, everybody has same exploration advantage because it was blocked instantly. And in Palace 2, the item was the first room to the left from the elevator. So I'd say they're about equal. Nice moves by Thurwolf getting through the Stone Bear and the Tektite. Thurwolf's gonna ferry across this Valley of Death encounter. Zarnax looks like maybe he doesn't recall exactly where the palaces that he's looking for are. I think Purity, I'm not certain that he won't leave here without looking for the item first. If he hasn't already done that, because still looking for that medicine to get the reflect spell. And given that he has been basically everywhere besides P4, I'm sure it's gonna just, it'll probably chap him a little bit that it's a double dip P4 after all this. So where are our racers now? P2 for Willard, P6 for Zarnax, P4 for Thurwolf. They've all gone to different palaces. Dick Shake not getting his swamp bucks. Ooh. First Rebo fight for Zarnax. Palace 6. It can have a number of layouts due to having a bunch of elevators and drop rooms. But with the Rebanak, because there's no... you can't enter this room from the right, the Rebanak hallway. You always need the logic says that if you enter it from the right, it'll be messed up. So what you'll always find after that Rebo is either a drop or Barba. Zarnax has seen the drop and the right, so he's not going to be able to discern a whole lot of information. But look at that. Barba, 2 rooms to the right of Rebo. Alright, let's see some... We got some jackhammer strats. Jumpless jackhammer! Oh, man. Now he's going to have to... He spent all his magic, so he didn't have jump, but he's getting in some good hits. He's gonna wait this one out. Oh, he's getting over. He just needs that one stab on the way down. Alright, we got some pretty good sync going on here. Willard just... Zarnax was still fighting Barba, Willard was putting in the P2 gem, and now he's in P6. We've got the P4 gem going in for Thurwolf, and Zarnax is ticking up with his P6 gem experience. These palaces were basically all in a row.
Yeah, he took Helmet Head out in what looked like 2 stabs.
Yeah, do we get one of those really low roll HP Helmet Heads? Normally what we'd expect to see is a minimum start point for the enemy is 4 bars of health. The bars of health are the same numerically in value as the original game, so sometimes enemies, if they'll spawn with more than the original HP of the boss, they'll actually have... You'll have to hit them several times before you do the first bar of damage, and so sometimes, they start with like half the health and they'll have 4 bars, but for whatever reason, Helmet Head seems to sometimes spawn with a quarter of his health. And a nice quick fight for Willard on the forced Rebo just before the bar.
Yeah, Willard's on his way to Barba. He's on the right path.
Yep, 2-hit Helmet Head for Zarnax. Before he can even get a second Helmet Head up, he's dead. Joining us in chat is the winner of this race, Error72. Error finished with a time of 1 hour, 32 minutes, and 19 seconds. Comment, ellipsis, that was a seed. And indeed it was. Willard having jump for the Barba fight. I'm gonna do the safe jumping damage threat. No jackhammers, no jumpless jackhammers. Thurwolf passing through a glove block room into... I don't recall if this is actually required. But if it is, it makes sense why we didn't see anybody finish Palace 2 before finding that glove. So with that, Zarnax is entering Palace 4. It's his final of the 6 palaces. Willard's on his way there. He's just a few steps behind. We see now Purity is heading to P4, it looks like, to locate that medicine. We'll have to get his take on that one when this is over. Another turtle head for Thurwolf this time. Yeah, P2 wasn't indeed glove blocked. Love the Thunderfire spam. Zarnax turned around to get that red jar just so he could do it some more. That's a spirit. Bam! Doom Knocker in a tight space? I got the answer for that, buddy. Thunderfire. Oh, another one? Thunderfire. Doom Knocker on a crumble bridge? Thunderfire. Oh. Oh, Thunderfire. Yeah, Thurwolf's Thunder spell is 10 magic points now. Thunder in the BGT room. Thunder. Zarnax is finished up with Karok, but over in the top right corner is a lot of thundering going on. I'm very excited about that. Willard's casting a life spell! And stabbing this guy! Oh, buddy, talking about Nintendo at recess and talking about secrets. Yo, dude, I know the debug code for Sonic 2. Alright, Thurwolf has made the jumpless gap. 4-tile gap, good for him. And that will get him into the Barba fight. I'd hate to see if he fell down there and decided to roll with it. That'd have been terrible. Zarnax has entered the Grand Palace at, just shy of a minute 38. Already passing the Carry Fairy room, where Larry would always go left on his advice, I think. Uh-oh. Got their first dead end to the right instantly, so it's one of two lefts for Zarnax. He's taking the logical choice here. And yeah, let's take that one up because it might be useful. And already he's being funneled through Larry's Carry Fairy room. Just proving that always go left at this room. Gonna ferry over for safety. Oh, that room is ugly. Thurwolf going jumpless here. He has the magic for it, but I'm guessing he feels like he will make fewer mistakes, which could lead to death without a jump spell. It is a dangerous fight. If you're not comfortable, you can, one damage boost can knock you off that ledge. And you don't want to just stand there and tank the damage. Barba hits very hard. You can block Barba's fireballs with the reflect spell. Thunderbird find for Zarnax. He's gonna have to get a death off of Thunderbird here to refill his magic. Oh, my tea is bitter. What the heck? Put honey in it. Error knows the way through GP. All right, here we go. Jumpless strats. Let's see it. 1, 2, 3 hits on the first pen. See if he goes for 3 on the way back. Just 2. 2 is much safe. It's possible to get 3, but you really risk getting hit with Fireball. All right, 3. Looks like he got a second hit there for him. 3. Very controlled fight. Nice and smooth for Zarnak. Might finish off here with no damage. Yep. Good clean fight for Zarnak. Willard's in the fight now. Willard's coming in here, he didn't have quite as many resources. It's just really funny that Zarnax got to Thunderbird with not even 10 magic points the first time. Willard also getting the same approach as Zarnax, maybe not quite as proficient at it, but as long as he doesn't take any hits, he'll be perfectly happy to get it. Second try for Willard. Thorwolf also getting the news to pass through the Carry Fairy room. Let me also welcome Victor Santa Fe to the commentary booth. Join us here to kind of basically replace me. I've got to head off to a Zelda 1 rando race momentarily.
Yeah, hello guys, and good luck on the race, Yunus. I hope you win today.
Oh yeah, thanks. I will do my best. If you guys will do me the favor when we get done here, if these guys make it to the commentary booth, these racers, and find out from them, maybe from Thorwolf's state of mind, leaving Death Mountain and getting back, where they felt they were in the race at any certain point in time, finding the medicine in P4 with the double dip, so forth. Have you been able to catch much of the race so far, Victor?
Kind of, but not much. I'm kind of watch it, but I had to do some other stuff. But I am watching it right now.
All right. Yeah. Well, so to catch you up a little bit if you missed these are the bigger details of the race. The medicine in Palace 4 led to the Reflect spell. The hammer in the Hammer Cave in Death Mountain led to the glove in the rock in Death Mountain. The boots were blocking a couple caves in the east and possibly even access to the north section, not 100% on that. So it's been a seed.
Yeah, I can see that the hammer and the glove in Death Mountain was something that most of the players got very late into the game.
Yeah, rightfully so. Thorwolf is blocking multiple shots here with the Reflect spell. He gets a finish on T-Bird. The other guys, we got Willard and Zarnax are hunting down Darklink now, and what they're doing is they're trying to find right turns. Darklink is in a room that dead ends to the right. And if they can find the bottom of a fourth elevator that they know isn't going to be a backtrack, that's where they're going to want to go, because that will logically have to lead to Darklink. So let these guys take over and call the rest of this race out for you. Thanks for having me.
Okay. Yeah, one thing I noticed with this race is that maybe the only good thing, or the only fast thing about this seed is that Thunder was mixed with the fire spell. So I've seen, I saw Yunus was very excited seeing everybody kill everything with the fire thunder spell, because it was very cheap.
This is a very trolly seed, man. Having a double dip 4 and then go into Death Mountain.
Yeah, most of the players dig a lot into the palaces before heading to that mountain. However, yeah, very trolley seed in terms of the position of things.
It's like Eunice got second place.
Yeah, Sarnax got
I mean,
second
yeah,
place,
Sarnax.
and Rose Citizen got third place with a 12-second difference, which is very, very close.
Yeah, it's close. I meant Zarnax. I didn't mean Eunice.
I just saw that I believe that Rose Citizen entered Great Palace before Sarnax did. So Sarnax got lucky with the Great Palace route he took. Okay, Third Wolf got lucky with the jar in that room where you have a 50-50 chance. And let's see if he takes the drop. He doesn't. So I haven't been aware of this palace, but can you tell me if upstab was required? Because I see
Upstab was required.
Yeah, William had to make a 3-block jump there, and he wasn't able to, so he tried again and he failed again, so he's gonna try for the third time. He doesn't have enough magic to cast Fairy. And he's gonna go look for the magic here with the statue.
Thurwood pulls
See if he
ahead. He
gets-
just passes the upstab room.
Yeah, it's not that hard. You just have to have a good speed before jumping.
Nah, I mean he had jump spell.
Oh, that's even more efficient, and he reaches Darkling, so... Okay, so Third Wolf finishes the race in 5th place with a time of 1 hour and 49 minutes and 59 seconds. And Kalain just finished. That's 15 seconds before him, with a time in fourth place with a time of 1 hour 49 minutes and 44 seconds. Okay, so I think we'll get Rose City Saint to talk with us about the seed in a moment.
I like that guy, Rose City Saint.
Hello.
Hey, GG to you, and congrats on the good positioning on this seed.
Thank you. Got to congratulate Error on another great game. He always impresses. And as for Zarnax, that's the second time this month that he beat me by less than 20 seconds. So what can you say? The guy's a sniper.
Yeah, we were saying that I think I was watching your stream, and I think you entered Great Palace a bit before him. So I think he got lucky with the routing in Great Palace. So it was very close.
Yeah, I got very hung up. I found my way to the Jackamus room, and there were two paths you could go to from there, and they were both dead ends. If someone went straight into that Eon drop, there you go.
Oh man, yeah. I figured the Eon drop was a 50-50 chance to take me straight to Dark Link, because the L7 room could have just looped into itself.
Yeah, I tried to avoid that drop in that situation, and it was very costly. I must have mulled around for 3+ minutes beyond that Eon room before going back.
Ouch.
That was one hell of a seed. I mean,
how about that mountain?
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, I was keeping track in my head. I can't wait to put a comment in IRC. I have to wait until more people are finished. But
yeah,
to have 3 boot-blocked caves on the west was insane, right?
Yep.
Right off the top. And then you have 2 required items in Death Mountain. You have a medicine and reflect, a medicine in 4 blocking reflect, and an upstab block deep in Great Palace, and a partridge in a pear tree.
Fun seed.
Oh, that seed was a living hell. I loved it.
It was great. I felt like aside from I had 2 big mistakes. One was losing Rudo completely, and the
just
other
north of start. Yeah.
Yeah, I spent a good 2 or 3. Well, no, probably more than that. After I found the trophy, I was walking all around the west, trying to remember where it was. Came across Death Mountain, and I was like, I still need the glove. I should probably dig around in here. Spent at least 5, probably 10 minutes. I got a level in Death Mountain, like over 2,200 experience.
Yeah, I went at least 3 different times into Death Mountain. That was not fun. I had the initial poke around that yielded nothing, and I wanted to go in there before I started looking in 3 and 6 for the glove, and I did that, and I still found nothing, and said, I guess I better start going into Palace 3, etc.
I also got really lucky, because I actually entered 3 and 6 when I first came across them. I found a glove block in both of them almost immediately, and then left. And then when I came back, I realized that there were, in each of those palaces, there was a one route that I hadn't explored yet.
Wow, normally that's not a high percentage play, but it really worked out for you there, because I had to find that out the hard way, like later on.
Yeah.
The Death Mountain, there was only 2 ways into Hammer Cave. There was only 2 outlets to get you to Hammer Cave. Is that right?
I never looked in the other one. I just came through one path, the East Cave.
And then, of course, they had to do the one final troll to you, which is rather than hand you the glove, they had to make it the hammer and make you either back out or up an A to go back to the Spectacle Rock.
My big mistake this seed was when I went into Death Mountain, I ended up giving up because I just couldn't find Hammer Cave. So then I decided, all right, I'll check all the stuff in the East I haven't done and check all the palaces. And last place, well, back to Death Mountain.
I have to hand it to you, Thurwolf. You've really picked up this game incredibly fast, and you're ruthless at it now. So, congratulations to you for that. It's awesome to have another top runner here. From the new crop of players.
Oh, Fire's Thunder. It was easy.
Yeah, this is the least fun I've ever had in the Thunderfire seed, I have to admit.
I got that fire extremely late. I think I had gotten all of my items by that time.
Yeah, we got Thunderfire nice and early, but it wasn't until late that it became really spammable, Like, I think it was Magic either 5 or 6 where it got down below 32.
Yeah, I think it was 20 when I found it.
So you didn't find it you didn't cash in on the trophy then until late.
Right.
Gotcha.
I couldn't find Rudo.
Yeah. That's a shame, but yeah, it wasn't until later anyway that you could really spam it. This was not a beginner-friendly seed, I'll tell you that.
I wish I would have been able to join it, man. I didn't until like 10. Everyone was already headed to GP, so.
Yeah, I'm glad I knew to go into 4 without reflect, because that was a thing. But my quest for the glove was a great big middle finger to me.
I was really worried about glove and 4 too, because I found Valley of Death. I checked, or I didn't know which palace. I hadn't found 2 or 6 yet, so I explored a little more. I found 2 and 6, and then I went back to the west for something. I completely, because I knew I didn't have reflect. I couldn't finish 4. I didn't feel like going through the Valley of Death to get there. And then, like, after I was back in the west, I remembered, oh man, there's an item in there that I probably could have gotten. I hope I didn't need it right now.
My full clear of Palace 5 kind of put me on tilt. That was garbage, and it hurt even more because Guma was free. It was 2 rooms to the right, and there you go.
Yeah, I got the medicine or the magic jar out of there too.
Yeah, although I'm willing to bet that almost all of us did that, so really no one really lost any time if we all did it.
Yeah, it was between that and Death Mountain, and
my choice was 5, 3, or Death Mountain. So I did 5, then I checked 3, saw the block, and okay, back to Death Mountain.
And I had a feeling early something was in Death Mountain, but it was just too prohibitive. It wasn't free enough to make you want to invest the time early. So I had to narrow it all the way down first.
Was there anything required in Palace 5?
No, just a magic jar.
For me, it was the 8th magic jar, I think.
See, I don't mind digging Palace 4. I mean, it's a little annoying, but going there for the reflect spell is kind of annoying. Palace 5 is the worst to have to dig, especially for an item.
And made even worse, too, if Guma is free the second room in. Then you really are gambling by digging 5.
I guess one good thing is I actually did manage to clear 3 when I was trying to see if it was glove blocked or not, so at least I didn't have to return after I got the glove.
Yeah, I did the same thing. I was able to find the boss without the glove and just never look back.
Yep.
So
What were
error.
the flags?
So error just asked why the blue moss in Great Palace were visible if he didn't have the cross.
I think that's a thing in Rando. I've had that happen plenty before. That's not terribly unusual.
Yeah, I've
Okay.
never really paid attention.
To be honest, I listed at the top a few, pretty trolly things about the seed, but my favorite thing, the thing I'll remember about the seed is the 3 boot-blocked caves in the west. That was really unique. I don't ever remember seeing anything like that.
Yeah, I don't mind going through Death Mountain either. If I have the boots, it makes it a little bit easier, and it makes it. I've seen the Hammer Cave a lot of times boot blocked. So a lot of times, if I have boots, I'll go into Death Mountain, no problem.
Yeah, that was another good reason not to go into Death Mountain. You never had the hammer, obviously, and the boots were a premium item that you needed to wait on. So going into Death Mountain early was a very low percentage play.
On the commentary for when it's in the race, the weekly Tuesday night race.
You are right now?
Mm-hmm. Look, these are the 4 guys racing. There's only 2 left.
You're doing the commentary? Like what?
Not a friendly race. We had 11 racers and only 6 of us finished in under 2 hours. So that tells you something.
These are just highlights.
Yeah,
The Zarnax fan club is in the house. Very nice.
you guys
News-
make look the Great Palace very easy, but man, for example, Willard J. Bradley is a good player, and he's having a nightmare in that Great Palace, man. He's
This
game
was
over like
a-
5 times.
Yeah, this was a longer version of Short Great Palace. It's not the longest short GP we've ever seen, but it is a hike.
It was the most linear GP I've seen of this length, by easily. I think I was about 20 rooms in before I could make a decision.
I believe once you went past that Eon drop, which I don't think you did, when I explored the Jackamus room area, I want to say there were 2 different loops that occurred.
Yeah, I mean there were
So
a couple.
my linearity was shot right there.
Yeah, there were maybe 1 or 2 branches before the Eon drop, but they were like 1 or 2 rooms, and then it was a dead end.
They were immediate dead ends, yeah.
So, and yeah, the Eon drop was basically the first decision, and that was pretty deep into the dungeon already. I think it was the 3rd drop. The first 2 were just required.
Yeah, exactly. I'm really glad too. I picked up the 1-up that was in that room off to the left, right near start. There was a 1-up there in a dead end, and it's a very good thing that I did because I was on my last life as I went through GP.
Yeah, Xarnas left the room, and he came back. He said, "Oh, I better take this."
I left the room, and then I noped out of there because I didn't want to give up that 5 seconds, and then I went back and said that better. If I lose by 10 seconds, that's my fault.
We see Willard J. Bradley here making his way through the up stab block, and he is now very close. Although I see he only has a sliver of life up, and there he goes. Thank goodness he still has another life.
Yeah, it looks like Cool and the Gank is in GP. Duster is in Mountain. Yeah.
Cool and the Gank is a very, very good Z2R runner, although he may be out of practice. We haven't seen him racing lately, so it's good to see him back in the racing scene.
Yeah, it is. Looks like Purity has filled out his tracker completely, has 1 gen left, and should be finishing up, or should be heading to GP relatively soon, I would think.
And actually, Zarnax, as I watch Purity fight Karak here, that reminds me, my Karak fight took way too long because the RNG was just garbage. And now that I think back on you sniping me by 12 seconds, that really makes me want to, say something about Carrick. If you go back and watch the video of my fight with Carrick, he wasted 30 seconds on me.
I don't think he was the difference because he wasted a lot of my time too.
Okay, I appreciate you telling me that because now I can sleep easier tonight.
He trolled me a little too.
No kidding. So it's evil Carrick night.
For what it's worth, my fight was good.
GG Air. That's a dominant win. Nicely done.
Thank you.
GG.
Hey, what were the flags for this seed?
The flags were round 1 flags. That's no candle, no extra keys, and mixed enemies. And for good measure, we threw in shuffled encounters and random life, magic, and attack levels.
Thanks for the race, guys. I'm going to head out.
Yes, me as well. I appreciate it. GG, everyone. That was a lot of fun. We'll see you on Thursday night, 11 o'clock.
Yeah, GG guys. And well, I hope I can race on Thursday. I arrived 5 minutes late today.
Yeah, thank you for the commentary, guys. Always a pleasure.
Thanks very much. Hope to see you guys Thursday as well.
Yeah, I'll be there Thursday.
So up till now, 7 players have finished the seed. The last 2 were near in 6th place with a time of 1 hour 54 minutes and 5 seconds. And William J. Bradley, who we just saw finish the run in 7th place with a time of 2 hours 5 minutes and 6 seconds. So we've got 3 more players still playing the seed, which are Cool and the Gang, Purity the Kitty, which we are re-streaming in this moment and has finished all his 6 palaces and is heading to the Great Palace, and Duster W. So Purity the Cat is going into Maze Island, going into his way to Great Palace. Let's see what choices he makes and how badly this palace will troll him. Okay, so GG's to everyone. We're gonna end the stream and we're gonna host Purity the Cat stream in this moment. So thank you again for watching this race, and we're gonna wait for you on Thursday on the Speed Gaming channel because we're gonna race again there. And we'll wait for you on Tuesday, the next week, with another Zelda 2 Randomizer race. So GG's to everyone, and thank you for watching. And we're gonna host this player, Purity the Cat.